Liverpool 1-2 Newcastle. Magpies end 70-year wait for domestic silverware with stunning Carabao Cup triumph after goals from Alexander Isak and Dan Burn at Wembley. Dan Burn broke the deadlock before Alexander Isak scored the Magpies' second. Eddie Howe delivered the club's first trophy in 70 years with a brilliant display. Listen now, it's all kicking off. Why the League Cup final is Newcastle's to lose sport. Liverpool 1-2 Newcastle. Magpies end 70-year wait for domestic silverware with stunning Carabao Cup triumph after goals from Alexander Isak and Dan Burn at Wembley. 576 comments. Plus. 19. View gallery. 18:30 Greenwich Mean Time, March 16, 2025. Updated 22:54 Greenwich Mean Time, March 16, 2025. By Oliver Holt. Dan Burn broke the deadlock before Alexander Isak scored the Magpies' second. Eddie Howe delivered the club's first trophy in 70 years with a brilliant display. Listen now, it's all kicking off. Why the League Cup final is Newcastle's to lose. Some wept, of course. Tears of unbridled joy. Some flung their hands to the skies, thinking perhaps of loved ones long gone who would have given everything to be here. Some screamed out their ecstasy that they were part of this great exorcism at the place that, for so many cruel years, has seemed to welcome them like a curse. I noticed one other, too, who spent the second half in a state of such nervous paralysis that his friends kept prodding him and laughing at his state of fear. He stood there, this middle-aged man, his thick black and white scarf wrapped around his neck, and his hands clenched together in prayer for 30 minutes or more. And when it was over, when the final whistle sounded and Newcastle United had beaten Liverpool 2-1, and Newcastle United had won their first trophy for 56 years, and Newcastle United had won their first domestic trophy for 70 years, finally, he unclenched his fists and allowed himself to be followed up in that swell of joy. Newcastle and their fanatical, long-suffering fans have spent the last 7 decades being somebody else's punchline. They have spent the last 70 years being the cold reality to somebody else's dream. And so this Carabao Cup final felt like the most extraordinary release from the purgatory in which they have been waiting and which, it sometimes appeared, they would never escape. For all that they have been mocked by other fans, for all they have been patronized, they are one of the great tribes of the English game, and their failure to win a trophy for so long and all their near misses have ranked up there with other great droughts in sporting history. The Chicago Cubs went 108 years between winning World Series. The Toronto Maple Leafs have not won the Stanley Cup for 65 years. The curse of the Bambino on the Boston Red Sox lasted from 1918 to 2004. It was 77 years between Fred Perry winning the men's singles title at Wimbledon and Andy Murray emulating him, and next year, it will be 60 years since the England men's football team last won a major tournament. Alexander Isak swept home the Magpies' second goal against Liverpool to spark wild scenes. Fans cut emotional figures as the seriousness of what had happened started to sink in. The Reds delivered a below-par display just days after their Champions League elimination.